Well, wasn't planning on doing it, but it happens. I was working with a client that I've worked with before, and she requested that I make an SP video about something that is like seems to happen more frequently than you might expect, and that is like what her general question. And again, it's good to just keep this general because it more people, this information will be more relevant for more people if it's a general question. Her general question is basically like, what do you do if like your SP situation, like it not only affects you, it's not only about you and the other person, it's also about like your entire inner circle, whether it's like family or like your closest friends. Like for instance, like, let's say like you were with your SP and now your SP is with your cousin. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or like, your best friend or close friend, betrays you and ends up, later with your SP or something like that, like something significant. So like the dynamics seemingly are not just about you and your SP, but also about like your entire, like your intimate circle, right? It's like, and it becomes like spreading, like salt on a wound. Like it makes everything seemingly so much worse. So in other words, like, standard stuff in the sense that a fucked up SP situation, maybe even a little bit more fucked up than usual. And so my general advice, and for my client, we already went over the specific advice, the most relevant advice for her situation, and the advice I would give to most people. But let me share slightly more general advice for what I would say to most people who are in these very sticky, fucked up SP situations. And that is this. It is look within yourself, first of all, and strongly consider getting therapy or counseling. Strongly consider getting therapy or counseling. And strongly consider forgetting most of the SP advice that you hear, if not all of the SP advice you hear on YouTube and Reddit and elsewhere. I've said it before. I'll say it again if I ever make another SP video. This SP advice usually sucks when it comes to like actual life situations that are like fucking devastating and traumatic. Like losing your SP to your cousin, losing your SP to your cousin, or to a close friend, or like, your SP, ending up with someone they used to date or something like that. All these fucking things, and it's like, we're going to try to manifest them back and revise the situation. No. Don't do that. Don't do that unless it works for you and it feels right. I just think that's terrible advice. I think you need to probably look within and get help dealing with this trauma that you've gone through. And I think that therapy, I'm a big advocate for therapy where you really work through your emotions and work even imaginatively through your emotions, like in internal family systems, IFS. I spoke to Melissa Basie, that psychotherapist, about, attachment theory and how she uses IFS, for instance, in that interview I did. I'll link above to that. Something like IFS, in my opinion, or a modality like that, or some kind of like somatic healing where like your whole mind and body, your emotions are involved in the healing process. That's going to provide you a much better solution, I think, for most people than most of the SP advice you hear on YouTube from these SP coaches who are telling you watered down Neville advice, law of assumption advice that can work. But even when it does work, often only works short term. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a serious wound. You know, like let's say, for instance, that your SP starts dating your cousin and it's devastating. But you apply these law of assumption techniques, or one might say tricks, to deal with it, and you get your SP back. Do you think that situation is resolved just by doing that? It is if you've worked with your emotions and worked with your SP and your cousin about what happened and worked it out in a mature way where you explored kind of like what the fuck was that all about. But most people, in my experiences using these SP tricks, you know, they don't do that. And then the same thing happens again. Not necessarily with the cousin, but similar traumatic relationship stuff. And as Lester Levinson used to say, you want to get the fuck off the roller coaster. Get off the roller coaster. Be mature about your relationships. Be mature about dealing with intimate relationships and romantic relationships, and understand how messy they can easily become if you play childish games with them. And a lot of these SP tactics are childish games. And they're for desperate people and for narcissists. It's amazing how many narcissistic personalities you encounter when you delve into this SP community. And, you know, as I've said in previous videos, I want nothing to do with that. And I don't think you want anything to do with that. If you're serious about feeling better about yourself and having healthy relationships and practicing the golden rule. Counseling, therapy, doing real inner work on yourself, going to couples therapy. That's the route to take, in my opinion, most of the time. Not by applying these SP tricks. And I wouldn't have made this video if my very nice client hadn't asked for it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot lately. I've had quite a few clients who it's like they've been given terrible SP advice from SP coaches, and someone like myself is just hoping to clean up that stuff. And then once we clean up that stuff, we start the healing process. And a lot of that cleaning up is just saying, stop listening to dumb fucking SP advice. You're dealing with another human being when you're dealing with a relationship. It's not a cut and dry thing. If you read Neville or read Joseph Murphy and think they weren't aware of this and consider it people who practice the golden rule, you're out of your fucking mind. You're a narcissist. Use common sense, compassion, and love. And you'll treat not only yourself better, but you'll treat other people better, including your partner better by doing that. That is my recommendation.